Hello friends and my dear students. As we are studying casting, which is a basic manufacturing process of in manufacturing process subject which you used to study in your fourth semester or fifth semester of your mechanical engineering discipline. So in the last sessions we have studied about casting basics and what are the types of patterns we have studied. Now there is a molding sand, if you will recall, the gating pattern or gating system of casting. So that gating system required some molding sand. So what will be the composition of that molding sand, that we have to look. As you can see here, sand is the major part. An ordinary silica sand, which is SiO2, or zircon, can be used as a sand, and clay act as a binding agent mixed to molding sands. Okay, so clay can be used for as a binding agent for molding sand, and water, clay is activated by water, means clay should be activated by water or mixed with water. Now what are other additives which should be added in molding sands? Okay, so those additives are serial binder, up to 2% increase the strength. Basically this is used for increasing the strength and it can be used up to 2%. Pitch, if used up to 3%, would improve the hot strength. If you want to increase the hot strength, then you have to use pitch. Okay, sawdust up to 2% may improve the collapsibility. If you will add sawdust up to 2%, then definitely it will increase the collapsibility of your molding sand. Other materials or other additives are sea coal, fuel oil, graphite, iron oxide, and many more. Those materials can also be used as additives. Now what are the basic properties of molding sand? Okay, those properties are porosity or permeability, means there should not be any insertion of oxygen or air. Okay, means permeability or porosity of molding sand is the measure of its ability to permit air to flow through it. Okay, means if it will allow air to flow inside that, that is called as porosity or permeability. Now strength, as you know that it is defined as property of holding together of sand grain, means how sand grains are joined or attached from one another. A molding sand should have ample strength so that mold does not collapse or get partially destroyed during conveying, turning over, or closing. Okay, so during all the process that should not be destroyed, so they should be they should have ample strength. Next is refractoriness. It is the ability of molding sand mixture to withstand the heat of melt, means so to withstand the heat of molten metal which you are going to pour with the help of ladle or sprue. Okay, without showing any signage of softening or fusion, means that should not fuse with molten material, because ultimately that will be a quality defect if it is going to be added. So refractiveness, okay, that should be there in the molding sand. Next, plasticity should be there. It is a measure of molding sand to flow around and over a pattern during ramming and to uniformly fill the flask. Okay, next is collapsibility, as we have already talked about. This is the ability of molding sand to decrease in volume to some extent under the compressive forces developed by shrinkage of metal during the freezing or subsequent cooling. So collapsibility should be there. Next is adhesiveness. This is a property of sand mixture to adhere to another body. Okay, means it should be adhered to another body, that is your molding flask. Okay, so these are the few properties which you have to consider whenever you are selecting the molding sand. What are other kinds of sands are there? Those are facing sand, baking sand, green sand, and dry sand. Okay, so facing sands are the small amount of carbonaceous material sprinkled on the inner surface of mold cavity to give better surface finish. Means facing sand basically used to give some better finish to the casting. So for those parts it is used facing sand. Next is baking sand. It is what constitute most of the refractory material found on the mold. Okay, so this is made up of used and worn sand, means baking sands are basically a reusable sand. Next is green sand, which is very popular during casting. The molding sand that contains moisture is termed as green sand, means the sand or your molding sand which contains some amount of moisture, that is called as green sand, and the green sand should have enough strength so that the constructed mold retain its shape. Means it should have ample strength or sufficient strength so that mold should retain its own shape. Next is dry sand. When moisture is in the molding sand is completely expelled, means there should not be any moisture, that is called as dry sand, means just opposite to your green sand moisture content. Okay, now small amount of carbonous particle sprinkled on the inner surface of the mold cavity is called as facing sand for improving the surface finish. Okay, that is the question asked in IS 2008. Next is grain size number. Okay, so grain size number, according to the ASTM, which is American Society of Testing and Materials, which used to form some standards. So according to ASTM, grain size number defined as n is equals to 2 to the power n minus 1, where n is number of grains per square inch visible to in the prepared specimen at 100 x 100 x zoom. Okay, and n is the ASTM grain size number. Low ASTM number means few massive grains, and high numbers refers to many smaller grains on the prepared specimen. So you have to calculate grain size number with the help of this formula. Okay, what is the casting yield? Okay, sometimes it is asked in your paper. Casting yield is a proportion of actual casting mass W to the mass of metal poured into the mold. Okay, means whatever mold, actual mold material, molten material you have poured, that is capital W, and what is the actual casting mass, that is small w. Well, somehow some amount may be vaporized or some amount has been removed during the cleaning or surface finishing process, so that will decrease the create some difference between the mold metal poured to the casting mass. So that difference or the ratio of that masses will give you the value of casting yield. In this way, or with the help of this formula, you can calculate the casting yield. Okay, so and now we came to the gating system design. We will talk about this topic in the next session. Till that time, stay tuned with our Engineering College Banswara YouTube channel for more such content of different branches of engineering like mechanical, civil, electrical and computer science, and do subscribe this Engineering College Banswara YouTube channel. Thank you so much.